Today, I want to be talking about the model of masculinity in 2025. And the model that I'm specifically going to hone into is self identification of masculinity. In 2025, a lot of us men will experience or have experienced someone saying, as a man, or what a man should do, what a man should be, what a man should look like. And oftentimes, these phrases or comments aren't from men, they're from adult women or male children. And that speaks volumes because the persons that should be holding other men accountable, they're not. The men that should hold other men accountable, they're not. And I'm not saying that there's no persons that do, because I myself, I hold my friends accountable. I hold the men around me accountable, or to a high regard and standard. But at large, a lot of men are not being held accountable. And with them not being held accountable, it waters down masculinity, because the self identification of masculinity is no longer overt. It becomes covert, it becomes hidden, it becomes underlying, it becomes something that needs to be found. And quite frankly, if it is that way, we have a big issue, because many people have an idea of what men should be like and who they are, how they talk, how they walk, when in reality, it's far from the truth, right? They don't know the role of a male. They don't know what he does. They don't know the mental process that they go through when they're making executive decisions. They don't fully handle and grasp the concept of executive decision making and accountability and responsibility. But they will try to push accountability and responsibility onto a man and say that as a man, he should be responsible because he's the man. Or they just say, they victimize themselves, I'm just a girl. Two sides of the same coin is that they're going to make the man accountable. Now, to those men that are accountable, responsible, and mature adults, I commend you, because you're showing whoever it is in your life, family, friends, relationships, what it is to be a man and what a man should look like. But most men today, we don't know what a man looks like, what a man should look like, how he should talk, how he should move, how he should carry himself. Even myself, I have found that I need to use trial and error and be comfortable in my own skin. And I have become comfortable in my own skin. I have. And it took some time, most definitely. It took some time to get comfortable, but I am. And I say some things, and the girls will be like, oh, as a man, you shouldn't say that. And I really don't care, because I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing what a man is able to do, which is whatever he desires to do. Free will, free choice, and leaving an impression. And when I say impression, I mean leave a genuine impression, a memorable experience for persons, whether it be good or bad. That's what men do. Men of value tend to be unforgettable, because they do stand out from the rest. They are a chip above the rest. They are above and beyond. Creme de la creme. And of course, this will lead people to think, oh, well, you need to be a high value man and make six figures, be 6 feet, and have six pack. No, not my point at all. A respectable individual, or a respectable man, for one, isn't insecure. Two, can handle himself and other people around him, can handle emotions of others, and they can make executive decisions while being responsible and accountable for their actions and other people without completely losing their mind. I think that's what it is to be a man. To endure, to take the blunt, to take the hits, to take the insults and keep walking. That's what I've experienced as a man. As a child, actually, as a young boy in high school, primary school, junior school, bullied, harassed. Then I turned to aggression and I just would get aggressive and I would be direct with people saying whatever things. And then I realized I don't have to do that. I have free will, I have free choice. I could just change how people perceive me based on how I show up. And I became calm. I realized people couldn't hurt me if I couldn't say anything or I didn't say anything. And the most powerful men and the strongest men are the men that are able to say nothing and keep going forward, making the decisions that no one wants to make and keep going forward. The end justifies the means for some people. Doing it for the greater good for some people. Whatever, however you want to split it. But when I hear people other than men tell me as a man, I shouldn't be this way or I should be this way, I'm dismissive. I'm dismissive. You don't get the authority or right to tell me what a man should be. You could tell me the expectations that you have, but you don't tell me what a man is. You don't get that right. You can try to, but it will never stick for me. And never will. Never has, never will. I know who I am. You should know who I am. And you're trying to change that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know, in the concept and topic of holding men accountable, a lot of men don't take kindly to being held accountable because it makes them feel, or rather, it forces them into developing and growing themselves. It forces them to stop lying. It forces them to stop being manipulative. It forces them to be vulnerable instead of being dismissive and avoidant and rude and a brute. They end up becoming kind, gentle, respectful, honorable, respectable men. And see, men want love so much. They want to be loved, to be adored. And I'm starting to lose that flavor. I've lost that flavor for a while now, but really being concreted in what I really do desire. And I desire to be respected by man or woman. I desire to be a respectable young man so that when it comes down to the chip and it gets down to business, they'll consider my executive choice or options or take value with what I'm saying. Because it's one thing to say valuable information and be heard, and it's the next thing to say the most valuable information and make the best decisions, and no one wants to hear it because they don't respect you, or they dismiss you because they don't respect you. I won't have it. If I have anything to do about it, it's never going to happen. Never. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Why should men have to? Am I saying that right? Why should men have to follow the status quo that women want men to do? Why are they so set on steering them And this is funny because when I was younger, for those that don't know, I was not rude, but I was set on doing my own thing. And the funny thing about it was, I had my mom there the whole time, and I got beaten a lot because she'd tell me not to do something, not do it. She'd tell me to do something, I wouldn't do it. She would want me to do something a certain way, and I wouldn't do it a way. She'd tell me go a certain direction, I wouldn't do it this way. And all of this was subconscious, by the way. I love my mommy. I still love her. I loved her my whole life. Never hated her. But I was so set on doing my own thing and being my own way. And I didn't necessarily submit to my mother, even when other men told me, oh, you should submit. And after a while, my mom came to the realization that that's a part of who I am. If I don't agree on something, I'm not going to fight you or argue with you, but you can't get me to do something I don't agree with. And I'm cemented in who I am as an adult. I'm not going to let anybody dictate and tell me how I'm going to live my life and do things how they see fit for me to do it. As a grown man that takes care of himself, it won't happen. I know a lot of men, they just seem to want the burden of not having to think and use their mind when they already use their mind to do all their work. Absolute nonsense. Bollocks. Your mind is so powerful. The capabilities are literally out of this world. And you want to take a back seat. You want to give the responsibility and the accountability to your partner that already doesn't want the accountability and responsibility. I'm not talking about when you're sick. I mean generally when you are on a regular day-to-day basis, you want to push the accountability and take a backseat. But in your mind, you want your woman to lead you? Really? I couldn't do it. I didn't want my mom, my grandmothers. I didn't want them to lead me. My dad didn't lead me. So what did I do? I led myself. I made decisions on my own accord. I take full responsibility for the good, bad, and ugly decisions I made. That's what it is to be a man. Sit down in a room by yourself, talk to the camera, and don't feel anything by it because you know who you are. I know who I am. And I became this person not overnight, but countless nights. Every step that I took to become who I am today was important. And at any point, it could have been altered because I followed the instructions of another person. Instead of being the man that I need to be and making the decisions and changing for who I want to be, I could have been someone else. Good, bad, ugly, it won't matter because it's not my reality. But it's just food for thought. Stop letting people control you. Stop letting yourself get comfortable taking a back seat in your mind. Embrace the responsibility. Embrace the executive function. Embrace leadership. It is far more fulfilling. It is far more rewarding. No questions about it. And for a man, it tends to be a lot easier. It tends to be a lot easier. But that's going to be all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you. This is a little bit longer, but I'm sure to those that listen will find value. I hope that you guys be safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys later.